studio, we have Jozi Nut Butters, who are going to give us a little brief about themselves, as well as tell us about how they started and what direction they take with regards to business and all those nice things.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have like young people doing business, and yeah, we're going to be highlighting some of the things that they're about, and definitely going into, you know, seeing what that's about.
So if you have comments, you can hit us up on Twitter, which is RMR 89.7, or on Facebook, which is RMR 89.7 FM, or also call in on 046-603-8847. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and one gent actually, one gent. How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't know about the ladies.
I'm fine. So in the studio we have Kutlwano and
Nobuhle.
Kathy.
Okay, so you want to give us a brief about what Nut Butters is about?
Yeah, so Jozi's Nut Butters is a social enterprise. I think a lot of us have heard that word quite a lot. Sometimes it's overly abused. And essentially we make nut butters. And nut butters are butters like peanut butter, but using different types of nuts. And I think we've really been creative about the way in which we do it because of the variety of products that we have. So in all our different nuts, we add either chocolate or dark chocolate or toasted coconut, so different flavors around that. And the cool thing about it being a social enterprise is that the proceeds go towards empowering people to study further, essentially. So that's why it's called a social enterprise.
Do you want to elaborate further on that, the social enterprise thing? I think you mentioned a few things about NGOs and so forth.
Yeah, well, I guess different people have different definitions for what a social enterprise is. Even globally, there's not a single definition for social enterprises. You know, England has one, South Africa has their own one, which isn't even official. But my understanding of a social enterprise is a business that does good. So a business with a purpose to empower, you know, the greater community in one way or another. And that's essentially how Jozi's Nut Butters started with us. Is we are actually a non-profit organization called Oasis, and we started a while ago. But because of the difficulties of raising funding, we thought it's really important for us to find creative ways to create our own income streams so that we don't have to depend on begging all the time. It's nice, but it's better when you equipped yourself to be able to raise the funds. And so that's how Jozi's Nut Butters was birthed. And there are lots of other things that are coming in line with that because we feel like we should try more and push more boundaries, I guess.
And I understand that you guys have been running for a year now.
Yeah, Jozi's Nut Butters started in somebody's kitchen, really. So using a blender, it broke 20 million times, and we had to taste all the rubbish before the good product came out. But it was essentially 2 American volunteers who came in, and as the NGO, we provided the infrastructure for them to actually build the business. It's their baby. But we've taken it on as an organization to make sure that it grows and it makes more money and it reaches more people, essentially.
And how's the growth journey been going? I mean, tell us about a couple of difficulties you faced as an organization or as a business.
Oh boy. Well, one is we here, for example, and just telling people about your product isn't easy. So making sure that we are known has been a really difficult thing, and also gaining the customer's trust. They see this product, it looks weird, what is it? You know, nut butters, what are nut butters? And so essentially it's how do we get in people's faces? So that's been really difficult. But a lot of the other difficult things is we didn't know what was happening. We didn't understand what the way forward was, particularly having not started a business before. So a lot of the growing pains of understanding the, you know, administrative stuff, losing things here and there, not making sure you can't stop properly, not having the right accounting functions, all of that funny stuff. We've made all those mistakes, essentially. Started new products before the old products were known, or, you know, not starting a new product quickly enough. Essentially, business you can't learn, but a lot of the learning comes through making mistakes. And
so Where are you guys actually based? Are you guys based in Joburg? Do you guys have a specific store, or can people like order from you guys? How does the business actually operate?
Well, I mean, the business essentially we have our factory in a sort of a prefab temporary structure, which is quite interesting. And a lot of the things that we manufacture go to sort of your farm stores, your in the Impala stores, your food lovers markets, hopefully soon. Essentially, that's where you'd find us. And also your random people who like going to Maboneng's or Dr. Zero actually has us on their menu. So we're on a sandwich. So Dr. Zero sells it in Joburg, and a few other little smaller health stores. Essentially, it's a health product because it has no added preservatives. All we have in it is really honey, salt, and the nuts.
For those of you who don't know, they actually have a store here at the fair, the Green Market Fair, or whatever, at Grahamstown Festival. And I just want to know, how did you guys land up here? Because you're from Joburg. I mean, how did you kind of infiltrate into other?
I mean, as I mentioned, we also form part of a bigger organization, and as a non-profit organization, we're running a preschool in a place called Ver Genoeg. I'm not sure if people know it. It's just a township, just there. And we're focusing on early childhood development. And so just because we're frequenting this area, we learned a lot about the festival, and we applied essentially just to be here. But part of the reason we're also here is we're running holiday clubs with some of the children here so that we can understand this place a bit better, for us to potentially meet new people who can help the organization grow.
And what would you say is the one thing that has helped you guys grow from the past year? What is the one thing that kind of took you from A to B?
Well, having good employees, essentially. I think we have two ladies who are really committed to making sure that this works. And a very big part of lots of businesses is you don't have trustworthy people working with you that you can actually trust with making a really good product. And also who invest their time and effort in making sure that it is a good product. So a big part of the growth that we've had is having the right people working at the right time. Because not having the right people can damage the business in a really big way. And for us, I think Kathy and Mshungu is the other lady. They've been really great at the manufacturing of the product. So that's been helpful. And also knowing that even if people aren't around, there are people that you can leave operations to without worrying about anything.
Other than the people I'm seeing here, you also mentioned, I think, someone else. How many are you guys, and who does what? How's that working?
So Catherine, who's very quiet.
Both the ladies are like, hey, we're not talking today.
Yeah, I'm hogging the mic. I have verbal diarrhea. My apologies.
No, it's fine.
So Catherine probably knows more about the product than what I do, to be honest. And so she's sort of your production. She makes sure that everything's right. Orders also, and her next responsibility is also social media marketing, all that funny stuff that I don't know, because she knows the product so well. So she's focusing on that. And Mshungu, which is a elderly lady, she's really cool, funny, very funny. She also works with Catherine. And essentially my responsibilities have been to see if we can find more avenues to explore, potential partners to engage with, different places where we can go. So I don't really do much.
You talked about how there's more to what you do, and the fact that it's more of an initiative than anything. You guys help out other youths. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I have a theory. We call it a theory. I mean, social enterprise is a term that's often used, but I think we like to call it progressive business, essentially because we are about making a profit, but our business model incorporates sort of a development prerogative, so that if you work there, you have to be developing as an individual. So everyone that works within the business has to be linked with some sort of study. And so a study stipend is being given, so we pay for someone's studies, essentially, whatever it is that they want to do. If they want to do marketing, for example, which Kathy is doing, she has the framework of the business that will help support to do that, and the practical experience of that actual thing that she's doing. And so we want to see people not just being manufacturers forever, but how do you grow with the business and develop yourself as an individual. Hopefully at the end of it, you can either leave us and be in a better position, or you can grow into something that will lead the organization into a completely new, radical, different direction. And so that's why it is an initiative of sorts, but their idea is progressively how do we make money, but also develop people's capacity.
You keep mentioning that, and you also mentioned how you guys give back to like unprivileged people and so forth, and young kids. Is that like one of y'all's goals as a business, you know, to grow people who aren't having opportunities? Is that like the main focus of the business?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the main focuses is to, I think the world tells too many people that they can't do anything, and the world has these limits to life. And essentially what we are saying is that we believe in people's capacity, and we do the best that we can to help them express themselves by giving them opportunities to lead, and giving them opportunities to grow, and giving them opportunities to run things, essentially. And that's, I mean, as young people, we can come to varsity and the lecturer can talk, but until we actually engaged with something practically, you know, the learning doesn't reach its full course. And that's what we believe, I mean, is how do we give young people leadership within the organization? I mean, as Oasis, all the different aspects that we have are run by young people. And we mess up sometimes, you know.
Which is normal. I mean,
which is normal.
Yes.
Everybody messes up.
At some point.
Yeah. But if we're not given the opportunity to mess up, then we're robbed of real experiences in life. And we, in the end, only start experiencing it when we're in the workplace, and then someone's like, look, you know, he knows nothing. So as an organization, we encourage young people to explore what it is that they want, and we support it. You know, so we have young ladies who are running a back to school program, for example, back home in Johannesburg, where young kids who have been excluded from the schools are taken in, and they look after them, and they force their parents to find ways to get them back into schools, right? So that's a young person. They saw a vision. We were like, okay, let's see how we can support that. And if they mess up, they've messed up trying to do something in their own community, for their own people, and not waiting for somebody else to come and say, hey, you know, you can do this, bloke. You know, we can actually say, how can we do it ourselves?
This is extremely inspiring. You know, guys, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these young faces, and I'm just like, hey, we are sleeping on the job. These people are killing it out here. But just to get into the product, what is, you know, your product apart from everybody else's product? What is it that is so special about Jozi Nut Butters than other, you know, kind of nut products?
Okay, well, our product is handmade. It's natural handmade nut butters. We have three different kinds of nut butters: peanut, cashews, and almond butter. And next month we're gonna make marketed nut butter. So we're having 4 types of peanut butter, which is classic peanut butter, it's just a normal peanut butter. And then we're having coconut peanut butter, which is like mixed with coconut oil and a coconut inside. And we're having chocolate truffle, which is like my favorite one.
So you guys actually eat these things, your own products. It's not just you selling it. So that's pretty great. But you know, how do people kind of also just get involved other than just buying your product? Is the way to kind of support, you know, the structure that you're trying to build here?
Yeah, well, I think buying the product would be number one.
Obviously. Yeah.
So go and buy Jozi's Nut Butters.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Make sure. I'll be waiting. Yeah, I mean, the reason I say buying one is a certain percentage of every jar that we sell goes towards a bursary. And paying. So that is a really interesting way that you can support. But essentially, I mean, I think we're on Facebook, Jozi's Nut Butters. I think we're really keen on having conversations with people to see how they are interested in helping and being part of it. I think the challenge is we often prescribe to people what it is that they can do, but if we give them the freedom to think about exactly where are you, if it's a nice guy who owns a business and they want to do something around supplier development or enterprise development, for example, that's a great avenue for us to benefit as a business holistically. We can think about things here. I like thinking creatively.
But just to kind of sum it up, ultimately, where are you trying to take Nut Butters? Where is it that you're trying to go with the business? Where is it where you will say, like, okay guys, I think we've made it. Not that you're resting or anything, but just like, where is it that you're trying to go with the business?
Well, right now, just sort of the direction that it's kind of taking, because we've got really cool relationships with people across the world. We have a group of people in India who are actually exploring what it would look like to make the product there in India, and because the couple that also helped started, they're Americans, so once, I mean, they're back in America now, there are ways in which we can liaise with them for them to get us into markets there, but essentially we'd like to see the product making enough money for the organization so that we don't really need to ask people. So being in a food lovers market at some point, that would make us very happy. Being in a Woolies, for example, I think that's the direction that we're taking, and we'll probably get there. It's just a matter of when we'll get there, but that's definitely the direction that we're taking.
Where is your store situated here at the Green Market, and how long will you guys be there if people want to go right now?
Yeah, just give us a specific on the tent number and all those things, just navigation wise. How do people directly come to you?
So it's the tent with the big 5 on the front. I guess that's tent number 5.
Yes.
And
store number?
The store number is 198.
So 198.
And if you don't know how to get there, if you're coming in from kind of the bottom side where all the cars are parked, you walk into that tent on your left immediately, and continue walking on your left until you see Jozi's Nut Butters. That's pretty much it. I mean, a lot of business ideas are birthed and people do absolutely nothing about it. So there's nothing wrong in messing up. Just try something. There are other things that I'm doing which I just tried and I got lucky. It's real effort. It's trying and continuously learning from your experiences. I think reflection has been a really helpful tool. Is when you do something, you reflect on it, and you think about it, and you look at what worked, what didn't work, what could work better. What do I think about differently about this? What do other people feel? So, but you need to start before you even get to reflecting, right? So you need to ask, if you're not sure if your idea is cool, ask someone. And that person will say, nah, it's whack, refine your idea. But just go register your business. It's like 125 rands with the, I think it's the DTI or the CIPC, that is. It's just 100 and something odd rands. Make all your mistakes now, and then you'll figure it out, essentially.
So take the plunge.
I think so. I'm a firm believer in failing. And I think people should just do it. But not forever.
So don't fail.
Don't be that guy.
Be careful with the failing.
Yeah.
Maya, do you have any more questions?
No, I just have a beautiful comment. I mean, I just, what you keep saying about do not be afraid, to make those mistakes. I think that is something that young entrepreneurs who are looking into starting something can take into mind. And not just that, but anyone who's young, it's about that experience. And, and thank you guys for what you guys shared. I think it's beautiful that you guys are so young and you're doing this thing and you're helping people. Most importantly, it's a beautiful
Also,
business.
please just let us know on Facebook where exactly can we get in touch with you? Do you have like a mailbox as well? Just so we,
Drop some
in case someone is really far and they cannot contact.
We'll leave our business cards here with you.
Yeah.
And I think it's just Jozi's Nut Butters.
Yeah.
And you'll find us.
You'll find us.
On Facebook,
Google.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, Google Jozi's Nut Butters.
Yeah.
You'll find us.
And you said here at the fair you'll find them at tent 198. Tent F5 at store 198. My bad. But that was Jozi's Nutcrackers. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys.
Thank you.
We're gonna wrap this up, and of course we're gonna come check out and taste as well.
Come by.
Taste and buy
Thank you.
at some point. But guys,
Yes,
if you're in and around 10-5, please do go check them out. Or also if you're in Joburg, they're in a couple of markets in and around Joburg. Get involved, help out. As you can see, this is young people trying to move from A to B, trying to make moves, big moves in fact. But all the best with your future ventures, and we hope to see you again in Grahamstown.
Yeah, for sure.
Do enjoy the rest of
Definitely.
the fest.